Hi, everybody. Welcome along to the second edition of the David Power Jockeys Cup. Last week we done Harry Skelton, who's blazing the trail. I thought this week producer Pete would give us Harry Cobden, Sam Twist and Davis, Nicky de Boinville, John Bowen, Gavin Sheehan, Charlie Deutsch, and Jones. But didn't he give us Jonjo O'Neill? He's just made the top 10. You need to do better.
I know. More of a spring horse, I'd say. So better with better ground. So we'll come kicking in the next few months.
You should do actually, because you've got a lot to look forward to. And you just go back to last weekend. Red Dirt Pete was good at Red Dirt Brew was good at Sunday.
Yeah, he was good. He's one actually that loves the mud. And yeah, it was a good performance to be honest. I think he'll probably end up going for the 100 grand handicap hurdle at Uttoxeter on Midlands National Day. He's not qualified for the attempts, but the money's nearly the same for the two races. So he's come out the race well, and yeah, we always thought a bit of the horse. He's just not been that easy to train, but thankfully this year he's done pretty well.
Yeah, he's only an 8-year-old. He's only a handful of runs. So he beat Corbett's Cross in a point.
Yeah, beat Corbett's Cross before Corbett's Cross was Corbett's Cross, but yeah, he's got good form in the book, and yeah, we always thought he had ability. He obviously missed all of last year, but yeah, he's paying it back now.
Okay, so we can strike down 10 points there. You talk to we dusting ourselves down after Cheltenham. You've sort of nicked 10 points back. As good as. What have you made of the Jockeys Cup? And as I said to Harry Skelton last week, there's not a lot to dislike. It's not like the money was from elsewhere. We've taken it out of another satchel. It's fresh money and it's incentive. The jockeys seem to you've all get behind it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, we're very very thankful for the Flutter Group putting it on and creating new initiatives. I think that's what racing needs. To spice things up and get more people interested. It's life-changing money at the top end, and even if you're in the top 10, you're not going to say no to it. And I think it's definitely increased the audience a bit, and it's definitely increased our enthusiasm. You could be you're looking at the bigger picture now. If you're coming second, third, and fourth, even in races on ITV, you're still picking up points, and even if you're finishing fourth, I think is still 4 points. So the points are changing a lot each week, and it's making it very competitive. And I think it'll keep chopping and changing right to the end of the season.
You were at Cheltenham a couple of weeks ago. Trials day win on Jaguar, and there'll be jockeys up at Doncaster keeping an eye on proceedings and vice versa.
Yeah, annoyingly, that race wasn't on ITV, so that is a little bit annoying. I know Harry Skelton had a couple of weekends there in the autumn where he had quite a few winners on Saturdays and stuff, and they weren't on ITV. So that is the only annoying thing. You think you have a winner at Cheltenham, you'd be getting 10 points, but obviously it's only the ITV races. But anyway, that's the way it is. But even so, you're not going to complain if you're having winners on a Saturday.
No, absolutely. What age are you now?
27, just turned 27.
27. So you're sort of coming into your prime.
Hopefully, that's the plan.
Yeah. Growing up as a kid, what's your first memory of Dad? Really, I'm older than you. One of my first memories of horse racing, dawn running. I was 5, but I remember her unseating Tony Mullins at Cheltenham and getting back on her. And then your dad obviously had won a champion hurdle on her. We lost her obviously in the French champion hurdle, but Sea Pigeon and all that. Does he reminisce? Does he talk much about them old days?
Only when he's in company. Yeah, he doesn't really like to talk about himself much, but he does have a lot of very good stories. When he's in company out for dinner and stuff like that. And no, it is actually good. It's a completely different way of life back then, and what you get away with and stuff back then is you couldn't even dream about now. But he's some very very good stories. I suppose the first kind of horses when I was growing up would have been Rhinestone Cowboy, Iris's Gift, Into Sky Falcon, them type of horses.
Yeah.
Then got a little bit older, and it was probably Blackjack Ketchum, Exotic Dancer, Albertus Run, Don't Push It. Them types of horses. We were very lucky back in the day, with some top horses that were always competing in the good races and winning. So it was a great time to be young.
Because when you say like myself, working in horse racing and people who don't really know the sport, I still get it. Sometimes they might say, "Oh, did you know the man with the sideburns, John McCrae, Frankie Dettori, and Jonjo O'Neill?" senior. His name is, it's a household name. You remember, like, no, Sea Pigeon. He won the E-board, didn't he? Your dad on him.
Won the Ebor, yeah,
There was,
won the Ebor.
he can't show you that because there was an ITV strike, wasn't there? There's no cameras unless
ITV,
you
I
were
think
on the
that's.
Newsmar.
I think that was the only reason he won. I think because I think he said he dropped his hands a couple of yards before the line, and I think the photo finish and everything had gone as well. So
That's
yeah,
right.
he was. It was. I think it was maybe more of a dead heat, but anyway, he got it.
He claimed it. He claimed it. But you know, good jockeys and gone on to be trainers. You remember Sea Pigeon, Monksfield. You've seen them videos. Dawn Run, mentioned them. And then when he went training, obviously for JP McManus, given AP McCoy a Grand National winner, Don't Push It, a Gold Cup winner, synchronised. Some CVs got.
Yeah, unbelievable. Like he started from absolutely nothing in Ireland, and he was an apprentice on the flat to Mick Connolly, and then on the Curragh, and then came over to Gordon Richards and had a go. Went back home, then came back. Um, I think he was champion condition the first year he came back, and then the next season he only had one winner up until Christmas. Then I think he won on a good old horse in the Roland Merrick. I think it was a spare ride, and he flew then after that and had 50 winners from Christmas to April. And then from then on, he never looked back. And yeah, it was in a golden age really of all the champion hurdlers. You know, he used to ride Night Nurse and obviously Sea Pigeon and Dawn Run won Christmas hurdle and champion hurdle and Gold Cups and
She gave me a good up. She's made
yeah,
it. Dawn Run
he,
has won it.
he had a great career. And he retired at 34. So,
Yeah.
he retired the year Dawn Run won the Gold Cup the month after because he had cancer. Then he had cancer twice, and he was off when he was riding with a broken leg for 18 months. And he's a hard man. He's gone through it a lot, and then he's had a great training CV as well. He won Gold Cup and national, plenty of world hurdles, and yeah, he's done very very well for himself, and it's all self-made. So he's big pat on the back.
Set up with a little train up in Carlisle, only a few miles from Greystoke, didn't he?
Yeah,
Before Jackdaws, he didn't get it handed on a plate.
no, exactly. Yeah, and he had a 5 furlong Royal Ascot winner when he was training up there. He's won 5 furlong race at Royal Ascot and a 2.5 mile race at Royal Ascot. So he can train anything if he's given the horse.
Absolutely. It's good to see this season that you're sort of. It looks like you have some nice. Your Bill Joyce's, them sort of horses who are going to make it nice into Springle Bay. I know he's went over fences already, but you've a host of horses will come on to in due course. As a kid, were you more into rugby? Was that fair as when you were young?
Yeah, I was into rugby a lot. Racing was always my first love, really. Like I was always mad watching racing all the time on Channel 4 and stuff. But played rugby to a fairly high level at school, and I got to about 12 and a half stone when I was 17. And not even by trying, just not watching what I ate, just training for rugby and stuff. Then I broke my leg. I was out hunting actually with Enda Bolger in Ireland, and I rode one of Michael Horrigan's ponies. They hogged the mane, and we were out at Lacqueride, which is a big kind of hunting ground. And broke my leg when I was 17, and then kind of I had to decide at that point, because when I was doing pony racing the last season, I think I was doing like 11.7 and wasting to do 11.7 on a 14.2 pony, because I was still playing rugby, and I had to decide then, like, was I going to be a jockey or was I going to be a rugby player? And I was small at 5'6", but stocky, but I didn't think I was going to grow anymore, so I thought probably my better chance was kind of in racing, and that's probably what I wanted to do really anyway. And then just had to lose all the. When I broke my leg, it was the best way to try and change my body, because obviously I'd lost all my muscle and stuff, and just had to build it the right way.
All these people doing fad diets in January and February, keto diet, whatever diet you're on, just go break your leg. It's easy.
Yeah, A lot easier, yeah. Or do what Brendan Powell did and get salmonella. A lot easier.
Yeah. You should write a book, it's jockeys. How to lose weight quick. Yeah. And then riding, I remember obviously you went amateur. That about it. You were getting a few rides in the flat, and everything you saw on the road was winning, and it happened quite quick, didn't it?
Yeah, that's it. You got me a few rides in the flat as well back in the day, and
I remember saying to him, but he doesn't want to lose his claim, and a few outside rides that weren't very good. It'll be a good experience, and he kept winning on them.
Yeah, I stayed amateur. Like I had to stay at school until I was 18. Mum was fairly sure of that, and it was annoying me at the time. Like, 'cause obviously I grew up with Sean Bowen and Harry Cobden doing pony racing and everything, and obviously they left school and they went straight condition and were flying. And then when I finished school at 18, I said, right, like certain condition. Dad said, no, you got to stay amateur, and he said you're better off being amateur and asking why you haven't turned conditional rather than the other way.
Yeah.
So I spent I got a couple of rides while I was still at school, but then I spent a good 18 months as an amateur riding on the flat and over jumps till I was 19, 20. Just I think when you're an amateur, the spotlight is off you a little bit less, and you're able to make more mistakes and learn without having the spotlight on you. And I got quite a few bad injuries when I started off, just purely they weren't really related at all, but I never got a clear run for the first 3 or 4 seasons, but it probably kind of helped me because it stunted my claim, and also I was able to kind of, when I was stopping, I spent a lot of time at the sales when I was off injured and stuff like that, and able to learn like more the training side of things. And then I feel when I got a clear run, then I was in a much better position than if I had just turned conditional straight after school, So even though it took me 3 or 4 years later than the rest of the lads, I think probably it was for the best.
I totally get it. Last week, Harry Skelton was saying, as he wrote his claim out. He was in Ditchit before Dan set up, and he didn't have enough experience. He said no, he wasn't good enough to be riding them horses. So you appreciate your dad, what he at the time, I suppose you were wanting just to go turn and go to Taunton and ride the 700 winner, but you can maybe appreciate what he was looking after you in your best interest.
Yeah, 100%. And like you do see it now, once you're even a £3 claimer, if you're not up to, like in when I was starting off, if you weren't up to Tom Scudamore's, Dickie Johnson's, Noel Feely's, people aren't going to use you for £3. So you had to be at that stage when you were £3 that you were able to compete / as good as, obviously you haven't got half the experience, but you had to be at that level. And you see it now, even still, if the lads fly through their claim, they really struggle when they get to 3 or lose their claim. So I think over a couple of seasons, stunting it and getting experience is, definitely the right way about it.
Yeah, I think it. Even in the flat, I think apprentices maybe shouldn't have an agent. Shouldn't be allowed to have an agent when they're claiming 7. There's so many races, conditionals and apprentice in the flat. Conditional races over jumps, apprentice races for 10 winners, 20 winners, 25 winners. And when you come to claim of a horse, you don't want to claim 3. You want to claim 7 or 5.
Yeah,
you don't want to claim 3. So a lot of them can find themselves in limbo land.
Yeah.
Jackdaws Castle. I've never been. Lots of my family have been. I've never been. What a place.
Yeah, we're very lucky to train there. It's it's in the heart of the Cotswolds. You're 20 minutes from the track, from Cheltenham. I think we're 2 hours from 30 different tracks, I think. So it's very central, and it's brilliant. It's got loads of facilities. Dad's done a big job over the last 20 years. Obviously, there's a big revamp when we went in 2000, but over every year there's always been little bits of remodeling and revamping, and it's a great place to train. You wouldn't want to train anywhere else, and it's very good for owners as well. It's very user friendly and good for entertaining and everything. So we're very lucky.
Do you take it for granted? Do you think the novelties wore off for you? I always hear people that say, "Oh, we were Jackdaws this morning or the other week." It's amazing.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, when I was a conditional, obviously I was riding out a lot of different yards. and you do realise how lucky you are to be, like, obviously I remember when we were at Ivy House, and that was a lot different to Jackdaws. And you can train a horse from anywhere, as long as you've got a gallop in the stable. But the facilities are top class. But yeah, no, never take it for granted, because I've seen a lot of other yards, and we're very lucky to have ours to train from there.
When we talked about riding amateur and conditional, when you lost your claim, when I think of you, I think Native River be Denman, winning the Denman this weekend would be the anniversary, wouldn't it? You come into the
Yeah,
riding him.
That. So I was the year I was champion conditional. I had my first big winner on Big Time Dancer for Jenny
Yeah,
Candlish in the Lanzarote, and that
just got up on the line.
was the first kind of winner that would put me in the headlights a little bit. And then I had a winner, the boys race at Cheltenham for Joseph, early doors. And then I had a Punchestown. I won the boys race at Punchestown that season as well. And then I didn't lose my claim until December of 2019, and I just started riding the season before. Just in April time, I had a treble for Colin. It was Colin at that time, Tizard, and I had a treble for him, and was riding a bit for him through the summer and into the autumn. And I was riding plenty for him at the time, and Dickie got injured about 10 days before, and I was riding for Colin at Fontwell, and had a winner for him, and he said, Dickie's injured, I'm going to ask the owner. I'd ridden a few for the owners before, Garth and Anne Brooks, and they said they said they'd like you to ride Native River, and I was shocked personally, because obviously I'd only lost my claim, and I'd no big race experience of fences or anything really. And the Aidan Coleman was available, Tom Skew was available, and they were just lads that had ridden the horse before or ridden for it, so I just presumed that they would ride them. But to be fair to Colin and to Joe, they put their foot down, and they were right behind me, and the owners were very good with it as well, because it was a big call really to put me on at that stage of my career, and luckily he won. And then the week after, Copperhead won the Reynoldstown, and the week after that, Mr. Malarkey won the Racing Post Chase.
Yeah,
So it was
Kempton.
just 3 good weekends there that kind of propelled me a bit more. But I've no doubt, Dad didn't have the horses in them races at that stage, so it was all down to the Tizards really of putting me up on that stage. And yeah, then they let me ride Elegant Escape in the Gold Cup that season, and yeah, they were just very good to me, and they had no problem. They know I was lacking experience in that sphere, but they stuck right behind me, and thankfully it paid off.
And then your first grade one was the long walk, was it, Champ?
Yeah, Champ was first grade one. Obviously Nico, I think, was supposed to ride Buzz, and he got injured the day before, and luckily JP kept me on Champ, and he was at the stage of declarations. He was second string because he was coming back from running disappointing in the Gold Cup. So I think it was a fact finding mission, but obviously on his day, and very fresh horse. He was very good horse. So yeah,
Fresh and Ascot. He loved Fresh and Ascot, didn't he?
Exactly. Yeah. No, he was on his day. He was very good.
And it's maybe more important that your first big winners were for other people. That you weren't Jonjo's son, you were Jonjo.
Yeah, and I think that made a big difference as well. It certainly helped. It's not like you're just riding them because that's what everyone says in a position that you're riding them because your dad trains. But luckily, like all the big winners I had to start with were for other people. So that was good.
What's a normal week nowadays? How do you spread your time? Do you still go around out and about?
A lot. We're very busy at Jackdaws most of the time. This season, I've been mainly in Jackdaws. Pop into the odd place here and there, but I used to go into Tizards quite a lot. Obviously, Brendan and Fred ride them most of the time now. But I'd always ride for them if and when. but yeah, we're busy at home, so staying there at the minute.
Yeah, it's been the story of the jump season. Like you've produced some nice young horses, bumper horses that looks like green shoots of. We knew your dad can do it. AJ's come on the license. Mum's a big part of it. Tell us about AJ.
Yeah, it's great. We've got another pair of hands on deck because Dad's got all the experience in the world, and we've got some new ideas, and Dad's very willing to try them. Or he'll say tried that, didn't work, or stuff like that. And I think it's definitely brought a new dimension in, and it just helps even relaying stuff to the owners and everything like that. It's another pair of eyes and
Mm.
ears, and because we're all family as well, all singing off the same hymn sheet. So it's not really like a job for any of us. It's just a way of life. So yeah, we're very lucky. It's all hands on deck, really.
There must be shouting at times, surely, with Mum, Jackie, Dad, brother, you. Who's the one that throws the toys out of the pram? New declaration time, and I'd imagine it's you if I had a free bet.
Well, we all have our fair share of moments, to be honest.
Who's the boss out of the four? Jackie?
Mum, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, although
She's a big part of it.
that can get disputed, but it is Mum. She has
Yeah.
say.
Um,
Yeah, she's a massive part of it in the business side with the owners. She's absolutely brilliant, and Joe as well, my cousin. He's at ours full time, and he's a massive part of it. But we've got a great team. We've got a great team. Like Alan Berry's been with us for 25 years. He's a very good amateur.
Good amateur, yeah, absolutely.
Two festival winners for us. He's a head lad at ours. He's main man alongside Johnny Kavanagh, who is a very good jockey as well. He used to ride for Nicky, and he won the Fighting Fifth, I think, as well. We've got a lot.
Geos. Did you ride Geos? Yeah.
I think it might have been, yeah. We're very lucky. We've got some experienced members of staff that could probably train in their own right. So to have them in the yard, when you're racing or at the sales having busy days, you just know that the yard's going to run like clockwork. So yeah, we count ourselves lucky because them people are very hard to find now.
Oh well, yeah, and it's even changed from back in your dad's day training. Every Sunday was the day off. Nowadays there's racing all the time. There's breeze up sales here. There's sales there. France, Ireland. The other day I saw AJ Catrick. You were there too. Musselville the next day. It's just relentless, isn't it?
Yeah. You need good people at home because it'd be impossible to run otherwise.
What are we looking forward to in the spring? We'll start with Jackdaws. I mentioned Springwell Bay. He was good New Year's Day, wasn't it, Tipper?
Yeah, he was good. He's going to go straight to Cheltenham. He's entered up in everything. It depends what the ground was. Like it was soft ground. It was quite hard work on New Year's Day. Over 2.5. I think 2.5 is probably his best trip. But he just got touched off attempts to qualify at Musselburgh last year over 3. I think he's got the speed for 2 if the ground was soft. So he's got options for everything really. I mean, if the 2.5 chase was still grade 1 novice, that would be a race. It's a novice handicap now, so he got put up 9. I think he's off 152 or 154. So he's going to be at the top end, but we'll have to see. He's going to go to Cheltenham. We just don't know what race he'll go for yet, but he goes very well fresh, and he had a busy time of it. He had 4 runs up until New Year's Day, so we said we'd freshen him up and go straight to Cheltenham and maybe go to one of the Irish festivals with him as well.
Bill Joyce, he was third, obviously, in Trials Day. What did you make that race? So the winner, did he get enough credit of Ben Pollings?
Yeah, Fergal O'Brien has him now, yeah.
Fergal O'Brien, sorry, Ben Polling.
I think we didn't perform to our best, to be honest. Felt he ran a little bit flat. Just didn't gallop to the line like he did when he won at Sandown. Maybe the Challow took a bit more out of him than we thought. We were looking probably towards the Albert Bartlett, but Cheltenham and Aintree are only 19 days away from each other this year instead of a month, which means, if you're running at Cheltenham, you're going to be having a hard race and you're probably not going to make Aintree. So whether we save him for Aintree and freshen right up, we may do that. He's surpassed what we thought he would do as a hurdler. We always thought he was a
Yeah.
proper strapping chaser. So we don't really want to go to the well too many times with him. And he's had 4 runs already this year. So there's a chance we might wait for Aintree and then maybe Punchestown or something like that. But he's still
buying time for next autumn.
Yeah, I think so. It wouldn't surprise me if we just went to Aintree with him.
Any chance Springwell Bay and Jaguar could clash?
There is a chance. Yeah, there is a chance.
That'd be annoying, wouldn't it? He was really good on trials day for Ollie Green and Josh Carrera, who you rode obviously in Morocco, etc. But he was really good, wasn't he? His jumping's getting better.
It's getting better. Like he won a poor novice at Carlisle this time last year, and he didn't jump a hurdle, and he made very, very hard work of it when he should have won on the bridle, and then he was disappointing at Uttoxeter and Ayr, and he was just very keen over hurdles, and he was knocking him out the ground. But he's like 17.3, he's a massive horse, and he didn't really probably have the strength for his body last year. At Wetherby, he won, he scraped home, but he beat a 10-year-old handicapper. I just wasn't sure how much he was going to improve, but a Banger the next time I was a lot happier with, and he beat Philip Hobson, Johnson White's horse, Larry's Bar, who ended up winning the next time, and then he was second in a grade 2 at Windsor. So I thought that form had a little bit more depth to it, and I don't think he came quite back right when he ran at Uttoxeter thereafter, but the form of he was 2 lengths behind Jinka Blue going to the last until he nearly fell, and he won the race at Windsor that Larry's Bar was second in. So I'd say the form actually is probably stacking up a bit more. I rode him in a maiden hurdle last year at Aintree and thought he was a really nice horse, and he just kind of took backward steps last year. But I think this year he's kind of going the right way about it, and jumping was his Achilles heel, but he was very good the other day. And he probably won. He probably won quite nicely. So it wouldn't surprise me if he went there. So. And they're slightly different with the ratings as well. So one's going to have a nice lightweight, one's going to have nearly top weight. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, because Jaguar, that race, on trials day, the last 4 runners, I think 3 of them went on to win at the festival, and the other Genie's Destiny was second in the Grade 1.
Yeah, no, it's a good trial. It's a good trial, and obviously their other horse was second. He's not a bad yardstick. He's been winning plenty up until then. So no, it was a good run. It was a good run.
Unfortunately, David Power's Jockeys Cup stops on the eve of the Grand National. So when Iroko bolts up in the Grand National, don't get any points. I suspect he'll get over that, but it'll still be slightly frustrating.
If he did win, I think
he wins.
I think I get over it, but he's got a long way. Yeah. He's got to run again first before he gets there.
Will he go for it? Back in my day, called the Ritz Club, William Hill, the handicap chase on the first day, the ultimate.
I think I don't know, but I think if there was a month in between, I think that's probably where he would go. But there's only 19 days between then and Aintree, so might come a little bit soon. I don't know if they were maybe thinking about what was the racing post chase at Kempton or something.
Kempton.
Yeah,
yeah.
They mentioned that, but I don't know. But I know he needs to have another run before the national.
Yes, that's a fortnight Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where he goes. But yeah, looks as though maybe a step up in trip might happen.
Good stuff. Great to catch up. You've got a sausage dog, haven't you?
I do, yeah. He's
you see him?
He's a bit shy at the minute, but Vinny Jones. Yeah, he's an aggressive type.
Yeah. If you said to me I've got a dog named after Vinnie Jones, and maybe it's not a Rockweiler or something, not that character, but what age is he?
He's 6 now, yeah. So he's
6.
He's getting on, full of wisdom.
He's like you. He's in his prime.
Yeah.
Jonjo, great to catch up. Steve, keep collecting them points, because you know what's going to happen. Paul Townend's going to come into town, win the first 10 races at Cheltenham. You'll be in 10th place. Johnny Burke's going to frog leap you, and you're going to finish 11th. First person with no money.
I know, that would be a thing. So
Iroko needs to win the Grand National.
Will make no difference anyway.
No, but financially it will.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll aim towards that.
Yeah. Good stuff. I wish you all the best in the David Power Jockey Cup and for the rest of the season. Thanks for taking out your time this evening. We'll see you soon.
No problem. Thanks very much. Cheers now.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.